What's up?
What's going on?
Nothing. Hey,
I know this is completely off track, but the last hour, other than, setting up this video or this live stream and everything, I sat in, Tom Grossi does his skits every year, and every year he picks a north, east, west, or south. And this year he's doing the South, and it just happens to be like the AFC South, at least, is a complete and total dumpster fire. I watched all 8 of his 2 for the postseason of the NFC and AFC, and then week 1, 2, and 3. And man, that dude, I don't think he's got like 500,000 subscribers, but I still do not think that he gets the credit he deserves. Like, he's like your all-in-one package. He's a great commentator. He is a comedian. He is a great actor for what little acting he does do, but he's a great writer because he writes the script. He's a great editor. He is your ideal human, and he is like the Mr. Beast of being a Green Bay Packers sports channel, like, in my opinion.
I mean,
if I don't see that guy eventually at like 5 million subscribers, I'll be surprised. Like, he is a genius.
Yeah, who better to model your YouTube channel after than guys like Grossi, because he has the desire, he has the intelligence, the talent. He's multi-talented. He does different things. I mean, it's just, and he's not a community snob. He really gets into some of his community. You can have a conversation with him within his chat. He's that aware of what's going on, and I love him.
I just, I love his group of guys that stream together, but I don't resonate with any of the other guys nearly as much. Like, I just feel like Grossi is a more down to earth, other than Perna. Perna's a great guy. I'm not saying that. I don't think any of them are bad guys, but like, I can't sit and just binge watch any of those guys' channel. Like, but I can sit and binge watch anything that Grossi puts out. And I just wanted to start this video off just talking about how awesome that dude is, because like I said, I just spent the last hour and a half just watching every one of his skits for this season for the AFC and NFC South. What's up, Puppet Master in the house? Tim, hello. I saw Trevor in here, Sports Cat, and Nathan. If I missed anybody else, I do apologize. I might have said something to you in the chat earlier. Shelby's here. The real puppet has arrived. Yes. I am happy to be back in here. And I know that we're talking about one specific game today, but I am just saying right now I'm excited to, pick at week 4 as a whole when we are able to get to it. We didn't get to break this up like I wanted to last week and put all our focus into Thursday night and getting a good Thursday night preview in. So that's what we're here for today. But I'm very, very excited for this whole week. I don't think anything's getting easier for us anytime soon, and even starting with this game.
So you know what? I just want to start where we're at right now. I know that all the sports media is calling Tua's back injury.
Wait, hold up right there. Today, when they put him on the injury list, he was listed as questionable for a back and ankle injury, but nothing to do with his concussion or not concussion. He is listed as a back and ankle now that I haven't heard of yet injury.
But here's the thing, and you were leading me right into the point. The latest article that I read about 20 minutes ago basically said that Tua is doing everything he can to be on the field. But he was confident the other day he was going to play, and he played the rest of that game. That don't you? Is there any way that within today's NFL rules that you can hide a head injury? I mean, unless you just flat out lie. And then if he lied, will there be a punishment if it's found out that he lied?
I don't know. I'm really confused because like you approached me earlier today, obviously not on YouTube, in person, and was like, "Hey, Josh McDaniel, or no, not Josh McDaniel.
Mike
What's his name? Mike what's Mike
McDaniel.
something?" Okay, that's why I got confused. Mike McDaniel was gonna speak today, and I kept keeping tabs on the Dolphins pages on social media to try to catch that press conference because I did want to hear what he had to say. Because at the end of the day, this is all shady. The Miami Dolphins were involved with something shady last year. It's not the first time, it's not the last time. So this is definitely on our radar as something shady could be happening. But I wanted to hear what he had to say because I like the way this guy's kind of handling himself this year so far. He might actually be just like some college student because that's what he looks like and acts like. But I've been relatively impressed from somebody who was basically like a wide receivers coach. I know he was an OC, but what did he really coach on that offense in 49ers when Kyle Shanahan had the reins? So like I'm impressed with that. But the only media I saw today was Tua speaking with the media, and the only thing I saw him address was 2 days ago, and I posted the short on the channel if you haven't seen it yet. Tyreek Hill in the locker room getting like all the press media coming up as whatever he was doing. He had no shirt on and he was in a towel. And they were asking him questions about it. He had no idea that they were playing on prime time. He had no idea what was going on. And then they mentioned they're playing the Bengals. And so he's like, "Oh, okay, Eli Apple, that's what we're doing this week." He's like, "I owe you, man. I owe you." And so the only thing the Dolphins media I saw today was Tua addressing the Tyreek Hill Eli Apple situation. And basically all he said was, if I see Tyreek Hill with Eli Apple on him, I'm feeding him the ball. That's all I got out of all of today. We had this like high expectation of we're going to hear something today, and that's all we got. So Tua spoke with the media. I was wanting a coach, and all he talked about was the Tyreek Hill, Eli Apple drama.
And that's funny because Mike McDaniel said Monday that he would speak on Wednesday about Tua's availability for Thursday night, and then he did not speak today. I didn't see it either. I looked. I just thought it was all kind of interesting how it played out. That hit he took on his head, if you've ever fallen that way and hit your head that way.
I watched Patrick Mahomes do it twice in a year and a half, so he had a concussion, man. Or at least a small one.
It's hard to really just get up and recover like that quickly. The fact that he got up to his feet and then fell back down, that's indicative of some form of brain trauma, because if you try to run and you can't run, you just fall. There's something that's happened there that your brain is not sending the proper signals to your muscles. So, I got it. I mean, these guys are considered in concussion protocol for a lot less hits, and they all say they want to play and that they're okay, which they may or may not be. I was really surprised that he came back in, and I'm really surprised, with the NFLPA getting involved. I think that's really strange as well, because they aren't the ones that get involved.
I didn't see any media about it, but I did see like a quote from an interview done today. And I believe it was from Mike McDaniel. And he said, or no, it was from someone higher in the Dolphins than him, like not a head coach, but like maybe the GM. And he said, if the NFLPA wants to investigate it, and I feel like this was the actual quote, he was like, "We welcome that." And like, so that's why I feel like it's being shady, because the way that they worded that is like, I was just like, okay, you're basically trying to make yourself look innocent by like, yeah, we welcome that. Yeah, come on in, do what you got to do. But like, look, everybody who says that is usually guilty because they're trying to see if you can like reverse psychology and throw them off of it.
But on that note, I just thought all this was really interesting, right? I thought everything was super interesting how it all played out. But here we go. I still got to say that I really hope Tua plays tomorrow night because I want to see how we fare, and I say we because I'm a Bengals fan. How we fare against this team because they're a pretty complete team. We all know they lack a little arm strength at quarterback, but other than that,
noodle arm.
They're a complete team, and I don't want to play against Teddy Bridgewater. I would much rather play against.
No. See, look, listen. I know this sounds crazy, but you didn't really want to take me seriously when I was talking about it in the Cowboys game because, like, we know, like, that the Bengals should have won that game. But after week 3, we realized that the Cowboys defense might just be like completely legit. But the Bengals do not do good against backup quarterbacks, period. I don't care if Teddy Bridgewater is the worst quarterback in the league. Look what Mike White did last year. The Bengals cannot prepare for backup quarterbacks. They just don't know how. And it's just been a Bengals thing. It's the Bengals way. And it's not even an uncommon thing across the league, really. But what's up, IZ Edits? What's up, Eddie? But like, Bengals fans out there need to want Tua. Like, you need Tua, healthy, non-healthy, whatever version of Tua is ready by Thursday night. That's who you want to play this game. Look, I know he's better with this offense, but I still think you have an actual better chance against Tua than you do Teddy. And I like Teddy. Most people are going to discredit him and say he's bad. I feel like he is very similar to Tyrod Taylor. He's just been put in crappy situations and taken a lot of hits, and which led to him getting hurt all the time. And so they have similar stories, in my opinion.
Yeah, and where I'm most excited about tomorrow night's game is what Tyreek talked a lot of smack about Eli Apple, but
that's Eli all he does. Tyreek Hill is look. I'm a Chiefs fan, and, Tyreek did good for me. We took a chance on him in the 6th round, and look what he turned into. Look, he chose to leave, and I'm not mad about that. But since his departure, he has turned into, if he wasn't already, at least he kept his mouth shut before, he has turned into one of the most toxic players in the NFL. Therefore, he's gonna talk smack no matter which team he's on, no matter who he's playing. He's just mad that he couldn't put it in the end zone as a Chief against Eli Apple. And he's going to talk the talk, but, there's a 50% chance that he'll be able to back that up.
I really hope that statement is 100% true, that they're just going to try to feed him the ball because Von Bell and Jesse Bates are very opportunistic safeties in the back of a secondary, and they won't let them do that. I mean, that's where that will come into play. If they really go that route, that's going to be bad for them. But that's what I was going to talk to you about. The main thing that I see, and Buffalo, when they went to Miami last week, they had injuries in their secondary. They were banged up. They didn't have their 2 starting safeties, and they were missing 1 starting cornerback. I believe that's where that boiled down to. The Bengals secondary is healthy and deep. They've got good rookies.
I honestly, this is gonna sound crazy because, the Bengals have an incredible roster despite what their record looks like. Their offensive line has let them down. That's what it comes down to. And, week 1, the long snapper issue, and, that is an unpredictable chaos that they didn't see coming. Like, if Clark Harris hadn't got hurt, I say they win week 1 and be fine. I can't say the same about week 2 because the Cowboys defense has proven legit. Like, that's just a thing, and the offensive line hasn't proved themselves yet. But anyway, what I'm saying is my favorite part of the Cincinnati roster right now, I have to say, is their secondary because they're healthy starters, they're healthy second strings, and even their third strings that come in late in games are still proving themselves. Like, they're shutting down teams late in games, even, when they might not even be, like, they shouldn't be playing. Like, you still should have your starters out, and they're giving these guys chances at the end of games. Like, they're still going out and improving themselves. Look, your wide receiving core is amazing. Your tight end group is okay. Your running back core, Samaje Perine is still putting up numbers. He's still getting in the end zone somehow. Joe Mixon's off to a slow slump, but I like that core too. Like they're a decent group of guys. Obviously, Joe Burrow is a great quarterback, and your offensive line is definitely your bottom tier, and your pass rush is so much better than it was. But that secondary, like, I love that. Like, I love that, and that's the most important group of guys that you can have right now in this pass-heavy league.
And especially in the AFC, right, for sure. I think that's going to be that's the part that, when Baltimore melted down, you just got to remember, until they melted down in that game, everybody thought that Miami was headed in shambles. They didn't think that Miami was, but Baltimore melted down, broken coverage, mixed call signals on the plays. They just fell apart with non-starters in the secondary. And then that's how the ball got over their head. You saw those throws. Everybody was, praising those throws. Those throws were 10 yards underthrown. Both of them.
I did see one play in that game, and I'm not justifying anything, but there was one play, and I don't know if it was Waddle or if it was Hill. But if the secondary, I want to say it was Humphrey, I don't remember which guy it was. If he had just turned his head, that would have been an interception, and I don't think Miami wins that game. I'm not saying they didn't deserve that win because Baltimore's offense took their foot off the gas. Like that's what happened. Like their defense is slacking, so you need to like keep putting your foot on the gas and keep going on the offense when you can. But like Tua is gonna have a lot more turnovers as this league starts to continue to watch him play.
Yeah, he's
because
not.
He underthrows every deep ball.
Yeah, and that's going to be, I really honestly feel like Cincinnati's going to play a very deep safety and cheat Von Bell in short play, leave Jesse Bates back deep to see which one runs that post route, and then just try to bust it to smithereens and get interceptions. I think that's going to be the goal, is to intercept him and get pressure. Hendrickson's been on fire lately. Getting around. I got a good feeling about the game, but I'm not going to say right now that I'm still not sure that I'm picking Cincinnati in the game, just because
you've got until the end of the stream to make your final decision.
Yeah, I know, but I'm still not saying for sure. I'll decide at the very end because
I'm right there with you. Like it's just how much I talk myself one way by the end of the stream.
But I'm going to say all that under consideration that Miami is a very well-rounded team too, and I can't just discard that they've been successful.
This comment, it's got me. Tua's underthrows harder than me shooting my shot. No, yeah, I mean, I've got a lot of good things to say about both these teams. Obviously, as a Chiefs fan, I'm still butthurt, man, about the Bengals. Like it wasn't that it was one game or the other. I'm not even mad it was the playoffs, but the fact that we did it twice, the exact same collapse, it's just left a bad taste in my mouth. I am salty. Look, I'm not salty about Tyreek Hill. I'm not salty about losing to the Colts last week. Like, I'm salty about the Bengals. But at the end of the day, I'm still rooting for them. And right now, they're underdogs in this situation. The Chiefs are ahead of the Bengals right now, and the Dolphins are the only team ahead of us, technically. So, I got to root for their downfall, and Tyreek Hill has just went off the deep end. So, I want to see the Dolphins lose. The only time I want to see them win is against the Bills because they're the AFC threat to me at the moment. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm rooting against the Bengals. Anything good I say about Miami. Like, I want Miami to lose this game. I don't know if they will, and I don't feel confident yet in that saying that Cincinnati is going to take this game away. But I'm rooting for the Bengals in this game no matter what I say in this stream.
I didn't realize that Cincinnati was a 4-point favorite at home.
I'm actually surprised. And I think the reason why is Tua's questionable availability.
I mean,
I think as soon as they say he's playing, then it changes. Or as soon as they rule him out, it changes even more.
Let's just, really as far as
Jared said I
gained,
can't root for the Bengals, but I want to.
I was sitting here just kind of looking at some of the, Miami is 31st against the pass. Would you believe that?
Well, seeing the fact that, Lamar kind of carved them up and Josh Allen still put up a lot of yards on them, yes, I believe that.
400.
That's what I'm saying. They average over that.
Yeah, I mean, the defense is pretty equal for the most part, except for that's where they struggle. Yards per game and passing yards per game. Miami gives up a ton of yardage, but they're winning ball games. What's another stat in here that's really good? Everything else is pretty close. Bengals only give up 18 points a game. Miami gives up 21. Let's see.
You know what the most impressive thing about last week and the Dolphins coming away with a win is if you look at week 1 and 2, Waddle and Hill's stats, they're averaging like 200 yards a game each. But Buffalo held them to a combined 134 yards. But they had that third guy. I can't remember his name right now. It's like Hollins, maybe.
Yeah, something like that.
So I don't remember who it is, but he flourished in that game. And so that's where I think Cincinnati has to watch out. They're going to be all twisted up in Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill, reasonably so, because if they get the ball, they can burn you. If they get the ball. But like that sneaky third or fourth string guy that you're not paying no attention to, that's where they get you. Plus, they got 2 decent tight ends that are making some noise. But the one thing, and is my internet okay? Because I'm getting a little.
The internet, we're still having a little bit of a connection issue, but you're in and out on you're clearing up now.
Okay, because I got the little connection thing, so I was just making sure. No, Matt Collins is on the Raiders because I was looking into something with him today. There's a third string guy that's catching passes for the Dolphins, but the one and number one thing I'm truly worried about for the Cincinnati Bengals is the fact that they lost DJ Reader and the Bills, who are a great run defense, let Chase Edmonds into the end zone twice.
Fair, Smith. The Bengals have been really good at keeping teams out of the end zone. I think they've got to keep Miami out of the end zone at least some, because I know Miami's going to put up points. They're not going to come in here and be shut out, I don't think. So
I mean, the Ravens shut them out for like a half.
Yeah, they only had 7 points in the first half. Ravens really exposed them, and Ravens defense wasn't 100% at that time, but Lamar was on fire. I'm just so torn up right now because I want to believe that, that Miami won all their games just on their merits, but I just don't know that I believe that yet. And I guess I'm just not sold that they're a top tier team in the AFC. How's that? I'll just leave it at that.
Technically, they're number 1 in the AFC, so it's really hard. I said I wasn't sold after 2-0, but after 3-0, I'm crediting them for at least winning.
Yeah, and winning is all that really counts in this league. I mean, you can win ugly and be 2-1 like Denver and not be.
Oh God, yeah, that's a story that's making me mad right now. But I can't deny the fact that they're 2-1.
Yeah, I mean, and they made and the one they lost. Which one did they lose?
Seattle.
Yeah, they should have won that game. Coaching lost them that game more than they did.
They should have had a chance to win that game.
Fair.
But coaching completely just eliminated the chance. It's okay, right? The Broncos are going to be 2-2 after this week. I don't care. I like McDaniels, though, as a coach. He might just be good. They're so talented. I just feel like this is a Zach Taylor situation all over with McDaniels. But I think McDaniels might even be better than Zach Taylor as a first-year head coach. Let me elaborate before you jump that and take it the wrong way. Zach Taylor couldn't relate to the veterans, but the young guys and the rookies respected him. And so, look, Tua's a young quarterback that it made it seem like that Miami didn't want him. He felt unwanted and diminished. So they get this young frat boy looking college student to come in here and coach their team. Okay, look, they're on the same level now. And then you've got this young guy in Jalen Waddle, and you go out and get his counterpart in Tyreek Hill, which he is a veteran, but I think he's mentally just as young as the rest of these guys. Look, all of these young guys on this offense, he's inspired them just by his frat boy college mentality, attitude, and will to win. It's a Dan Campbell situation, but he can relate to them because he's like the same age as them. I feel like it's a very Zach Taylor situation, but he didn't have to clean house to get to that point.
What would they have done if the Tom Brady thing hadn't have fell through at this point? Because Tom Brady, they wanted him in Miami. The ownership didn't really want Tua. That seemed pretty clear. They tried to get Brady, and then illegally, mind you, and then I know they have to spin it the right way. Oh, well, this is our guy. This is what we're doing. I just don't think the organization believes in their own quarterback.
I think McDaniels is the only one. And Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill, Tua is Tua's number one fan. What up, Lindsay? Thanks for joining with us. I know Tua is still questionable. They're not handling that situation correctly. And so we'll know by tomorrow. And I'm home all day tomorrow, so I might make like a little announcement or something before the game for anybody who doesn't, follow everything. Maybe when they release the final injury report, I'll put out a short video or something, since we are doing a stream in dedication of this game.
Yeah, Trevor, I like that. Tua looks really good, but then really bad. If he gets his consistency together, he'll be good. It's kind of like the really good years with Andy Dalton with Marvin Lewis. There was games that Andy Dalton would go out and play.
People don't want to hear that. People don't believe
but it's true.
People hated that guy. I loved him. You loved him. And I'm talking about both guys, Andy and Marvin.
Marvin Lewis had a great setup to win. He had some good offensive coordinators that ended up head coaches elsewhere. Failed at that, but Marvin Lewis was a stud. And I really think that
and I literally mean anything for that guy to get a second chance, like even if it's like Matt Rule's job, like give him the Panthers. I feel like he could make Baker less than or more than what he is right now, and that's useless.
I feel like he will be back in the league next year because the Arizona State thing with Herm Edwards got fired this year.
He got fired on the field before like everyone even made it off the field after a game. I saw the video. They walked him off right as the clocks hit 0.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah, right, Trevor. He looked like the guy, but he just looked like he couldn't quite get over the hump. And that was because he was never going to quite get over the hump because he really overperformed at times. He was a good quarterback.
He never had an offensive line either.
when the Bengals traded Whitworth, Dalton went to shit. I mean, literally, that was when
one of the worst mistakes in Bengals history ever.
Yep,
I don't care what anybody says.
Worth his weight in gold.
Look what he did for the Rams, and look at the repercussions of him retiring for the Rams. Matthew Stafford's getting beat to shreds. One of the worst mistakes that I can recall, and I have not been alive as long as you, obviously, but like in my lifetime, that is one of the worst Bengals mistakes I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly,
I think Kellen Moore deserves to be the Panthers head coach next year. I don't care. Actually, I don't care where he deserves to go. Look what he's doing with Cooper Rush, man.
Cooper Rush looks like almost a top tier quarterback. He threw some really good passes in that game. I was impressed.
Man, I'm impressed with that Cowboys team right now, and I hate to say it. I hate to say it. It hurts my guts. But man, this game tomorrow, we didn't even mention the non-important but important facts. The Bengals are debuting their white helmets. The white Bengal is coming to the jungle tomorrow night. They've whited out the field. They white out the helmets. They got the jerseys, the pants. They got everything's white in there.
I can't wait to
And it
see
looks
it.
good.
I like the
Hang on.
helmet. I saw the helmet today.
Hang on. Right now I'm gonna send you the picture of the field because I got an overhead view photo saved because I figured I could use it at some point. Look, my kitty even fits in on that field. That's the mascot for tomorrow.
He is up my butt today.
Well, that's normal. Can't wait to see it. Look, seriously, that field looks beautiful. I think they overdid it. Like they should have added a little bit of dark color in with it, a little bit more. But I think it looks good. Yeah, I just sent you the overhead picture of the stadium with the end zones. It looks great. This whoever took this, they had to take it with like a drone or something. It looks amazing. But yeah, I don't know what the Dolphins are wearing tomorrow. And Joe Cool in his interview, he said, "I don't care what we wear, we could play in trash bags." So he doesn't care, but the rest of the Bengals fans, and I'm sure the rest of the Bengals squad, are very excited about this wideout. I'm excited to see it. I started looking up tickets last night to try to get a cheap ticket, but the cheapest one's like $200, and I was like, all right, I'm not spending $200 to go to a football game that whatever.
That's a great view.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That picture is amazing. But look, zoom in on that field. Look how clean it looks.
I know, right?
Cincinnati really is a beautiful city if you take out like the crime and stuff. Like it's a beautiful city. Like you can get some great shots of that city. The skyline, the actual restaurant skyline, all of the above. If the Bengals beat the Dolphins tomorrow on Friday or whatever free day I get, I'm going to eat some skyline in honor of it because it's going to be a heck of a win. I don't care what anybody says. If they battle hard and come away with the W, I'm going to be impressed. Not that I don't think that this Bengals roster is good because I think they are great. But this is a tough matchup with the loss of Reader, with Tyreek Hill trying to get in their heads, with the uncertainty if they're going to have to play against a backup quarterback, which is their worst nightmare. Their backup quarterbacks is like Kirk Cousins on Monday Night Football, like it's like a curse. So, all of these things are negative to the Bengals. So if they come away with the win, I will celebrate with Bengals fans because it's well earned and well deserved if they can. And if you recall, the last time we watched the Cincinnati Bengals play against the Miami Dolphins, it was chaotic. There were fights. People got thrown out. Tyler Boyd got thrown out because somebody punched him. He had nothing to do with it. Somebody just punched him, and he got thrown out of the game. I was really upset about that, actually. Like,
yeah, that was
why
a
you gonna
wild
throw
game.
out someone who was defenseless? It
on
was
CBS.
messy.
On CBS, I picked Cincinnati to win because I just want to get them in early. But yeah, so where are you at? What do you think this game's going to trend like?
First of all, the big question is disregard who's favored to win or lose. The point spread 4.5. Do you think either team is going to keep this game within 4.5, like a field goal win?
Yes.
Like, do you think they're going to be that close? Like, that's the first important question. Because look, how many interceptions has Tua thrown this year? Do you know?
2.
Or how many turnovers? I guess.
I know. I think he's got 2 interceptions.
Because I do not have that handy.
Hang on, I'll get it real fast.
And Joe Burrow has 4, I think.
Yep, all in week 1.
Yeah, I didn't think that he had any other ones other than the fumble, but I'm just specifically really referring to the interceptions more so than fumbles. Because, that's uncontrollable at a certain point, and I don't consider that the same stat as an interception.
I'm pretty sure I was right in that he has 2, but I can't find him. Where's he at?
Okay, let me pull it up. Because if I go to the CBS Sports app, it'll come up real quick.
There he is. I should have just went by QBR. He has 8 TDs and 2 interceptions.
Dang, he has
1
8
fumble.
TDs. That's impressive, man. And Joe Burrow's got 6 TDs, 4 interceptions with only about 100 less passing yards. Okay, before I get a final answer, whoever wins the turnover battle wins this game 100%. And if there's no turnovers in this game, it's whoever has the ball last. And that's really, but if we're gonna assume that Tua plays, because I really don't like to speculate it being Teddy, because I just feel really, I have an eerie feeling about the Bengals if we start thinking about it that way. Let's see. So you said you think whoever is going to cover spread, this game will be within 3 or less.
I think it's going to be I think it'll be fairly close. It will be within a touchdown regardless.
Okay, so my first initial thought of this game is that it's going to be stupid high scoring. And because that's my first initial thought, I believe that this is going to be a very low scoring game. I think both teams will find the end zone, but not as many times as these teams are capable of finding the end zone. I think both defenses will play well, and I think this game comes down to whose defense makes the most stops. Like, realistically, it doesn't matter how well both these offenses play. These defenses are going to be hyped up, ready to go. It's prime time. The Bengals are already hyped up. They're in their own home stadium. We saw them last year on their first primetime game with Joe Burrow against the Jaguars. The Jaguars got ahead early, and the Bengals fought back and, won this game. And then, the Urban Meyer scandal that night. And, that was a great day. That was a win for the internet with the memes. But I think this is going to be a low-scoring affair. What's the over-under on it? Hang on, I got it right here. 47. So 23 and a half for both teams if it's an equal game to hit the over. Oh, man, that's going to be close. That's going to be really close in my opinion. I still think it's going to be – I don't think either team puts up 30. I'm going to say that. I don't think either team puts up 30. I think the highest score in this game might be 28. That's 4 touchdowns. That's a lot. Yeah, I think the high score, I'm going to say 28 to 24. That's what I'm going to say the final score area is going to be. So it'll hit the over, and I guess that is a fairly decent high-scoring game. It feels low to me, though, based on, watching the Dolphins' previous games and things like that. It feels like a low score. I think that the run game, that both teams need to stick with it early because, Eli Apple is going to be locked in and trying to get turnovers towards Tyreek Hill targets. Tyreek Hill is really good at coughing the ball up and causing turnovers. I saw that a lot last year. I think Jesse Bates, Von Bell, that whole secondary is going to be hungry. I think the Dolphins defense has been legit for 4 years, but now that they've got an offense to back them up, they're getting, credibility. God, I don't know, man. This is tough. This is real tough. I've been struggling with this game for 2 weeks when I first found out about it. Well, not when I found out about it, but when I first started thinking about it. When the Bengals were 0-1 and the Dolphins were 1-0, and I was mad. I've been thinking about it since then.
Yeah, I mean, like I said,
here's a big crucial question. Do you think the Bengals O-line finally shows up this week?
I mean, they've shown glimpses of learning.
Yes, that's glimpses, but you need 4 quarters out of those guys, especially with a defense like this.
No.
Here's another big question for you. Which defense do you think is better? The Cowboys defense or the Dolphins defense? The Cowboys just put up a career high 25 pressures on the quarterback. Against a bad O-line.
I think the Cowboys defense has I think they're better at pressuring the quarterback. I think Micah Parsons is a difference maker. That whole defense, I take Cowboys defensive line over Miami's.
So that is automatically a good thing for the Bengals. It's a tough defense, but you saying that right there just shows that they have a chance, like a good chance, the offensive line I'm referring to not completely, and part of my language, but not completely shit the bed.
Fair. I mean, go back to the Tennessee game last year in the playoffs. Much different offensive line, but probably not near as good. And regardless of situation, they controlled enough to win the game. I feel like Joe Burrow just needs to get the ball out of his hands a little bit faster because some of the sacks he's taken this year are on him for holding the ball too long too, and not.
I will
not
say,
getting the ball.
From weeks 1 and 2 to week 3, I saw some maturity. And look, we know Joe. Joe handles pressure fairly well. But the jump from 1 and 2 to 3 in terms of awareness and, some of the plays he made, he did take hits in this game, but, to be able to buy himself time, he looked a lot smoother with pressure on his back, and he was able to buy himself some time, move around in the pocket, get out, and then get a throw off, right? I just feel like he looked more fluid, more clean against the Jets. And I'm not disregarding the Jets. I still think the Jets are a good football team. Not great, but good.
From halftime on of the Dallas games, they've played fairly well. They gave Dallas 3 points in the second half of that game. They haven't given up a touchdown since the halftime of the Dallas game. The defense is playing well. I do think Miami's offense is better than any other offense they've seen so far, but the defense is playing pretty well. They're a pretty good group as a whole. They're not explosive in the secondary. They're just consistently hitting and playing well. Hendrickson has been a stud. Sam Hubbard's playing well. I miss DJ Reader though. That's what I'm worried about.
I just got an injury report notification. I'm gonna click on the article and see what it says.
Yeah, honestly,
So the Dolphins have a Keithan Carter. He's out with a concussion. Hunter Long, their tight end, which he's pretty good. He's going to be out. Taron Armstead, I believe, is questionable. That is a big one right there. Taron Armstead. Xavier Howard, questionable. That's huge too. Jalen Waddle, questionable. One of their defensive tackles, questionable. And Cedric Wilson Jr., also questionable. Along with Tua, of course. We already knew that. The Bengals, DJ Reader's out. Drew Sample's out. La'el Collins and Jermaine Pratt are both questionable.
Yeah, La'el Collins will probably play.
Yeah, La'el Collins really needs to get it together because he came in saying he's going to be Joe Burrow's new bodyguard, and he's been less than impressive.
Love the confidence, but he's not. He's doing the same thing he did in Dallas. He's having problems keeping healthy.
Yep, 100%. Don't you feel like until we watch this game that this is a game that you can sit here and either discuss, try to predict, or debate for days? Just based on the 3 weeks we saw from both of these teams, don't you feel like this is like a never-ending discussion because there's just so many factors that could really change this game?
I just feel like both rosters are pretty even. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, I think, well, Miami's Dolphins, or Miami's record does define them. I think they are good. I don't think they're the best team in the AFC, but right now they are. Cincinnati at 1-2, I don't think that record defines them. I think they are coming out of a Super Bowl slump, and no starters, like no offensive linemen, practiced in preseason, things like that. I think they just are coming out of a slump, coming off of a Super Bowl. That happens to every team that loses a Super Bowl. It does happen to the winners, but like specifically the losers of a Super Bowl. Like look at Kansas City last year. The year before they lost the Super Bowl and they started their season 3-4.
Mm-hmm.
If you lose the Super Bowl, it's really hard to get back in the groove than if you won one.
I agree with that.
And like they are taking it hard. And I think Joe Burrow has finally, well, I'm going to say this before their win with New York, but has finally achieved like being angry and being frustrated. He would never say that because he's Joe Cool, but you can tell that through his calm, collective, cool self that nerve has finally been pinched. He was mad. And, he had a bad week 1 performance. His offensive line and everything else was just bad in week 2. And I think week 3 made him feel good. And week 4, they've got confidence and it's prime time and they're fired up. So this is a great energy for them to go into a game like this. Tua
Ready to rock.
and the Dolphins, I still can't believe they beat Buffalo. Look, I picked them to beat Buffalo, and I only picked them because I wanted them to, not because I thought they were going to. There's a difference. And a lot of those picks I make because that's what I want to happen, not because that's what I feel like is going to happen. I felt like there was a possibility, but I didn't expect it to. I just feel like this game, man, it's just got me all twisted in the head. Like, this is a first game that's got me. I think I need to go to the coin flip. I think this is the game.
You're going to use it today?
Listen, I can suck it up on some of these other games, but this one, in my heart, I want to pick the Bengals, but in my brain, I want to pick the Dolphins. And either way, I don't think that's fair, because I've got plenty of reason for both.
I just don't. I don't want to pick the Bengals because I feel if I pick them, it's their downfall. I know that's not true.
You know what? I picked the Bengals in week 1 and week 2, and they lost. And I picked against them in week 3, and they won.
Well.
So, I mean, right now, whoever I pick, the other team's gonna win. That's how it feels right now.
Yeah, I can't live with believing that plays any part, in the cosmic world of sports and
but
our pick doing that much.
In the chaotic world of what this NFL season is, it kind of makes sense.
Well, if you're gonna, I'm gonna go with the chaos. And that even though Las Vegas thinks Cincinnati's a 4-point favorite, I truly don't. But everybody right now thinks that Miami is just on cloud 9, and
they are. They are on cloud 9.
And everybody feels that they're going to play as such. I think that line changes back tomorrow more towards Miami's favor. I'm gonna go ahead and take the Bengals 23-17.
I'm doing the coin flip, and I don't have a coin, so I'm going to use my Siri and tell her to flip a coin. So let's see. I'm submitting the coin flip for the first game of the week, and we still got 15 more, and I might regret this later, but I'm going to do it. Hey, Siri, flip a coin. She said, wait, I didn't pick heads or tails. Who was heads and tails? She already flipped it. Okay. Heads is the home team, right? That's what we go with?
Sure.
All right. Hey Siri. Does she not talk anymore, dude? Let me see if I can ask the Siri on my watch because I know she talks. Nope, that's the wrong one. Hey Siri, flip a coin.
It's tails this time.
That's the Dolphins. She picked tails.
Alex has picked. Now you got to pick a score.
I already picked my score, 28-24.
28-24 fish.
What's your score?
23-17.
Bengals?
Yep.
So, is that what we're doing now? We're picking scores too?
No, I put the score in there because that was such a topic earlier, the score of the game, because you really felt like it was going to be a 28-24. I feel like it's going to be lower than that.
I want to believe that it's supposed to be higher than that, like 42-35. Like that's what I expect. But since that's what I expect, I know it's going to be much, 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 much lower. But you know what? If the Dolphins and Bengals both want to put up 7 touchdowns, you know what? I'm here for that. I'm here for the chaos. I'm here for the offensive explosion. I mean, I feel bad for both those teams' defense if that happens, but I'm here for it. Bring on the boom, dude. Like let's let fire rain. If these quarterbacks want to be gunslingers, let them.
I'm all about that. I'd like to see a high scoring game just because it would interest me, and there would be plenty of highlights, and we could have some fun with the highlights. I'm all about that. But like I said, I really feel like this is going to be a lower scoring game. I feel like it's going to be more of a defensive battle.
I feel like we need to make a bet, dude. I used my coin flip. I know, but we got to make a bet on whoever's score is closer to being right.
What's on the table?
What do you want to be on the table, man?
I don't want to bet on this game.
Well, you picked the Bengals, so by Alex's law, you cannot bet on this game. Because in Alex's law, the only time you can bet on a game your team is in is if you bet against your team. Yeah, Lindsay, I will be here tomorrow night. We'll be rocking and rolling. I'm going to be wound up just because I am wound up about this game because I have tried to pick this one into a million pieces. And like I said, no matter how many times you pick it, you find something new every time you start thinking. Alex's sports betting law, rule number 1, if you ever bet on your own team, bet against them so you can never lose. Listen, I work in a casino. Don't take most of my gambling advice, but that is the best piece of advice I can ever give you. Unless your team is the underdog, that is the only time you bet on your team because that's the only way you can make money. But either way, I still think you bet against your team because if your team wins, you win. If your team loses, you make money. Therefore, you win. And no matter how bad it hurts, you still win.
I don't want to bet at all.
Is it on Prime still, Lindsay? Because that was how I expected to. But if it is on TV,
yes, it's
then
on Amazon.
I'm gonna flip to TV. It's a little more accurate, like in terms of speed. I agree with that. It's a win-win. See, look, I may not always say the things that make the most sense, but I just feel like that's a perfect piece of advice. Bet on both? Yeah, I mean, well, you're not going to get all your money back unless you hit with whoever has the better odds, but I mean, you still win. I do not agree with betting on both because I'm a very poor sports gambler. The biggest gamble you ever do is saying I do. What's up, Ben? It's nice to see you on this fine evening, which might be morning to you. I believe you're ahead of us, not behind us.
They are ahead of us.
Listen. All right. We got any updates for the channel coming other than Thursday Night Football and our Week 4 picks? You got anything coming up real soon?
I have just been starting because it's getting close to time. And, since next month I have 2 trips where I'm not home for extended periods of time. I'm starting to put together my preseason Indiana stuff right now and getting some. I've done a little bit of recording. So I'm getting ready for that. I'm really been taking the reactionary videos to heart. I'm going to start doing some of that stuff too. Just
yes,
playing
Ben,
with it.
you've inspired us, Ben. We are going to do that Australian football reaction as much as it's going to hurt because I saw the thumbnails. But just for you, that video will be coming as soon as we get the time together.
Yeah, and so it's going to be I'm going to go around to more than just football and baseball. I love basketball. I like that kind of stuff, and that's something that I would have a lot of interest in getting good at on the edits. So, but I've been reading about the rules and how you go about it.
Listen, you're getting ready for some college basketball, and I am getting mentally ready to follow you along all season. I will follow you into the midst of Avalon of Hoosier basketball. But I'm going to be real honest with you. And look, it's no secret. I've talked about it before on the channel. I am a Dallas Mavericks fan, and I have been for a good number of years. But this year, I think there's something special going on. We got a great rookie class, and I've been following them all off season. So don't be disappointed in me if I start putting some of that stuff in here too, because I am getting really wound up about this season. It's coming in just a few weeks.
Yeah, I mean it's if you might find that you don't like doing it, but you might find that you love doing it, and if you love doing it, then it's worth putting in here.
Also, a little bit of update, especially for Nathan, because I know him and I talked about it in here one night. I have been. Oh, yeah, Luka Garza, too. I feel like this year we're going to see a lot more of him in the league. He was a backup bench rider with only a couple minutes a game, but I feel like he's going to get bigger minutes this season. So I'm, as much as I don't watch the Pistons, I'm going to, tune in a little bit just to see him play. But I have done a little bit of research, and I am a big step closer to getting my Madden content ready. And I've got my ideas of what Madden stuff I want to display on the channel. I'm about to become a Pistons fan for that, dude. Look, I'm about to become a Detroit sports fan, period, because I'm falling in love with the Lions. I don't have a definitive number 1 NFC team anymore because Carson Wentz plays for Washington, and it hurts me. So listen, I'll support the pack for you guys just because I love you guys. But I think the Lions might be my new number 1 NFC team. The Lions, the Eagles, the Saints, and the Pack are the 4 I'm going to root the hardest for because the Eagles are my Super Bowl pick, so I have to. I got to defend them with every ounce of being in my soul. But for anybody that is interested, I don't have everything set up yet, but I will drop my my Twitch account in here just in case anyone wants to follow it. And I'm not going to play mostly Madden on there. I did play Fall Guys not too long ago. How do I share?
Hey, are you ready? I'm going to stick something on the screen. Check this out if you haven't seen it yet.
Okay, I'm ready. Oh, I did see that. Aaron Rodgers ties Roger Maris. Aaron Rodgers. I was talking about the Pack a second ago. Aaron Judge tied the record. Look, I hate the Yankees, but I am rooting for that guy right now. If you can do it, then do it, man. Just do it.
Yeah, look at that. That's awesome.
All right. Anyway, I'm gonna just drop my username in here because I don't know how to drop a link. Also, once my NASCAR is done downloading the updated roster, I'll be posting new content with that. But if you want to go ahead, if you want to go head to head on Madden, Alex, I'm down. Look, I'm really, really bad at Madden. So this Madden content that's gonna go out on the channel is gonna be me being bad, but me trying to do better. Like me, let's see how far I can progress. And I will key you guys in really soon. Um, what my game plan is for the Madden content. And look, I know that this is a Bengals Dolphins stream, but I just wanted to like take this time at the end to just give some channel updates and stuff with you guys. But let me type this in. Yep. All right, that is my username on Twitch. If you guys want to follow me, I will be trying my best to get on the gaming stuff very soon. I figured out how to stream solely from my PlayStation, so therefore I don't have to constantly be on a computer. And so once I get good at it, like, but I'll definitely be live on that a lot. I'll be using a lot of that if I do play Madden to put on here for you guys who do not use Twitch at all. I'm really excited for that. I'm really excited for a lot of the stuff we're getting into real soon in here. We're gonna try to get a couple of different reaction stuff. Australian football, and if there are any I'm bad, but I'm trying to be better. That's me 100% every day, Ben. But let me type our email in the chat in the bloodlines@gmail.com. Ben, Nathan, anybody, if there's any videos that are sports related that you would like us to react to and make videos for, yeah, it's right there. It's in the comments, and it's also in the description of every single video or live stream we put out. Send us the links to those videos on to our email, and just put in your what's it called? The little message for the email. The subject of the email. Yes, I just went brain dead. But if you have any videos you want to see us react to that are sports related, please don't spend us on sports related stuff because it kind of just goes away from the sports channel. But we'll definitely do that as well. Send it there. Hype for you though. Also do that stuff. You're gonna have fun doing and putting out. Like I'm actually really excited. I've been wanting to do this for a very, very long time. But when I lived in Indiana, my internet was too bad. I could barely even play games, let alone stream them. I could only do one or the other, stream or play games, not both. So there's a lot of big things coming. And I can't wait to hang out with you guys even more than I already do. You're my favorite people. And I like hanging out with this ding dong over here to my right. Yeah, you look too far out and went over your head. Is there any further comments or predictions related to the Bengals and Dolphins Thursday night football game, or about any of our channel updates, or anything from you guys before we go tonight? We actually ran longer than I anticipated, but it's okay when you're having fun.
That's right, Nathan. And you need to cheer up. Raiders are going to do better, bro. They're not done.
Yes, you guys definitely are like our little family, and I'm every day I wake up thankful for you guys. But we're working on it, Nathan. It's going to get better for you. You're going to kick the crap out of the Broncos this week, and life's going to start to feel okay again. I promise. And the Texans are going to beat the Chargers, so that means you're not going to be that far behind in the division anymore. So it can turn around real quick. What's that guy from IU that went to Xavier? Wasn't it Fennessy?
What, that went to Xavier? Rob Fennessy?
Yeah, I thought it was Fennessy. No, tell me I wasn't pointing at you. There's an Irish game held in a small town where the only rule is to end up with the ball at the end of the time. It's chaos. I'll try to find it for you. Dude, I would love that. If you can find that and send it to our email, 100% we'll do a video and react to it because I want to see that.
All right, we got to close it.
All right. I will definitely 110,000% see you guys tomorrow. I might try to post a video if I can. I've got a new clip-on mic that goes for like small devices like your phone and stuff. So I definitely want to try that out. Maybe tomorrow or in the near future, if not. But I will definitely be here tomorrow night. I'm fired up. I'll even throw on a Bengals jersey for the occasion. And because I vowed to not wear any Bengals jerseys this year, but this is the one time I will. It's
Maybe
Thursday
next
night.
Sunday night.
What is it?
Next Sunday night they play the Ravens.
No. Sundays are for the Chiefs if the Chiefs play on Sunday. I don't care who's playing Sunday night. This is the one time because this is the one Bengals primetime game I'm most excited about. And I'm disappointed that the Bengals and Chiefs game's not primetime. What's up, Pookie? I did see that, but everybody, we are hopping off here. We will see you tomorrow. I hope everybody has a fantastic rest of your night. And until then, everybody, we love you. Woo! Woo!